And so let's go right back into our story to where we left off, which is the story of Cain and Abel. We said if you understand the pattern of 12, that the challenge was made, that the fundamentals of faith are the same. There is your Lord Most High. He created the angels. He created the jinns, the other races. And then man was created, the most noble of creations. And the Lord said, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi Khalifah. I am going to make a Khalifa on the earth. Our Khalifa has been described as a ruler, or a vicegerent, or the one who is authority of the earths. Khalaf, one after the other, generation after generation. This is the implication of what many in the New Agers and many upon the light understand as the God spark. Now, many of my brothers and sisters unfortunately use the term God so loosely when they're referring to Adam, our father, who was of the divine light. And many times when people of the light are trying to encourage us on the path of ascension, they tell you, you are going to become godly. And this is a misnomer. Of course, there is only one true God, but Adam was given that divine spark and that noble light. And so all of us who recognize that light have that purity in our soul, in our hearts. This very nature of the soul is that light. And so we want to understand the difference between recognizing who is the true creator and what it means to understand this divine light that the Lord Most High has called Adam a Khalifa, a ruler on the earth, a ruler in this universe, the one who acts out God's noble command when he is upon the light. Now this is something that our noble Father has forgotten, and the fall occurred. And it is not a fall from the skies to the earth, but a fall from the higher dimensions of light, or a more noble status, to a lower status. This is the representation of the fall, and both our mother and father left the kingdom of God, the noble garden that is in the higher dimension, and we're going to get into where that was, and were sent to the earth, and the first people to be tested were the sons of Adam, Cain and Abel, and we talked about the sacrifice and how Satan from the higher realms understood that our brother Abel was beginning to see what was the truth of the unseen world by recognizing the pattern of creation and knowing what was the noble sacrifice to offer. And Satan confused our brother Cain into believing that it was more appropriate to slay his brother, to kill his brother. This is one of the first times this major deception has occurred. And Cain decided out of jealousy of his brother to slay him, to take a rock and take his life. Now, if you've understood the concept that I'm telling you, then you should know that those of us upon the light, it is never our desire to cause anyone else harm, let alone slay them. Let alone slay one of our brothers and sisters, even if they commit an evil act. Now, those who have been given authority and rightly on the truth, who are given the authority to rule over us, sometimes it is true that there are those sons of man, sons of Adam, who are doing such evil acts that it becomes incumbent upon us to take their life and send them back. But this is something that is so sparsely done. And only when the person is so dastardly and evil that their harm to society is so open and clear that it becomes obvious to us that they should not remain here on the earth. But even that as a concept has been so abused that Lucifer, or Satan as we'll now refer to him, convinced by the whispering to our brother Cain to slay his brother. And so we go to this story and understanding Cain. And it is there even from the Holy Scriptures in the Quran that when the Lord Most High says, and recite to them the story. As we said, this is always going to be a telling of the story of truth. And recite to them, I'm reading to you Surah Al-Ma'idah, or the chapter called The Outstretched Table. Now, before I get into the explanation of Cain, I want to say what it means to be on this outstretched table. Now, those of you upon the light know that in the process of ascension, we are waiting for the gathering of those of us who are going to ascend and meet those of our brothers and sisters who are upon the light. And our brothers and sisters who are upon the light have been telling you of the celebration that is going to come. The chapter in the Quran called Surah Al-Ma'idah, or the outstretched table, is a reference to this celebration, my brothers and sisters. Those of you who are upon the light, turn to the Quran and see what is written in this story, or in the chapter called Ma'idah, the outstretched table. And I say to my brothers and sisters upon the light, don't you know that the time of celebration is coming? And so from the chapter called the outstretched table, you are being taught what you need to know to be the ones who are going to be allowed to be at the table. As all of us who are upon the light seek to ascend and be at the gathering in the celebration of joy when we are returned to our family and sitting at the table and eating the noble food and telling the noble stories. So here in the Quran, Allah, the Lord Most High, has given us the story. And we say from this surah, which is chapter 5, from the Quran, verse 27, and recite to them the story of the two sons of Adam, Cain and Abel, Habil and Qabil. In truth, when each offered a sacrifice and it was accepted from the one, but not from the other, the latter said to the former, I will surely kill you. The former said, verily Allah accepts only from those who are muttaqun, the pious. If you do stretch your hand against me to kill me, I shall never stretch my hand against you to kill you. For I fear Allah, the Lord of all of the worlds. Verily, I intend to let you draw my sin on yourself as well as yours. Then you will be one of the dwellers of the fire, and that is the reward, the recompense of the zalimun, those who do wrong or those who seek false gods, even sometimes worshipping themselves. Then the verses continue. So the nafs, or the self of Cain, encouraged him and made fair seeming to him the murder of his brother. He murdered him and became one of the losers. In this struggle, we said that each one of us on the path is trying to learn how to ascend and not be fooled by the deceptions. Then Allah sent a crow who scratched the ground to show him how to hide the dead body of his brother. He, Cain, said to himself, woe unto me, Ya waylati, Ya waylati, oh woe is me, am I not even able to be as the crow, to hide the dead body as the crow has hidden, and hide the dead body of my brother? Then he became of those who regretted. And there in the Quran, we have part of the story of Cain. In the next section, I'll continue some of the deeper concepts of this story. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.